I'm Katrina, and this is Sow and Tare. Today we're going to be talking about citrus. So I am in California in Zone 9, planting Zone 9B, and so I am able to grow citrus here. Citrus is a heat-loving tree. If you live where it snows, you're probably not going to be able to grow citrus unless you have a greenhouse or other way to protect it. When these guys were little, I did protect them with sheets and with Christmas lights. And when I first started Christmas lights, I thought you needed like the heat ones, the ones that get hot. And you need some heat. You need it to be, you know, like the little twinkle lights are fine, but not LED. LED doesn't put off enough heat to make the airflow around it. And what your goal is to make airflow in order to prevent frost or freezing happening right on these. Now, sometimes when it is going to freeze, sometimes the big orchards, they will actually put sprinklers on them, and when they put sprinklers on them, what that does is it makes ice, right? So it freezes on the plant. But I don't know how it works. It's been explained to me before, but when something has ice on it, it acts as an insulator, and there's actually heat happening between where the ice is and where the plant is. So when they put the sprinklers on, it freezes over the leaves and the fruits, and that actually prevents further damage from happening. So you're still going to have some damage, but you're not going to lose the trees, and you're likely not going to lose all of the fruits. So depending on how cold it gets. Frost is what really damages citrus, and then of course freeze after that. So the majority of our citrus are in fruit right now, and so that's why I'm doing this video. It used to be, a few years ago, we used to start getting citrus fruit in December. And that was this tree right here behind me. This is the Clementine. And right now, I think it might have like 2 or 3 fruits on it this year. It has been my most productive tree, citrus tree, for years and years and years and years. And this year it's taken a break, so I guess that's okay. But that always was the first citrus that had fruit, first orange citrus that had fruit, and it would always fruit in December. And 2020 happened, and I guess Mother Nature was knowing that we're going to need an extra little vitamin C in March. And in March, that's when the fruits were starting to ripen. So seasons are shifting. The climate is changing, and so that means a couple things. One, your regular fruiting cycle is not going to be, likely isn't going to be as it has been. 2, it means that things you used to be able to grow, you might not be able to grow depending on where you are, or things that you weren't able to grow, and if it's getting warmer in your area, you might actually start being able to grow these things. So that's something to pay attention to when you're designing your space is, I wonder which way our climate is changing and how fast it's changing. There are a lot of citruses that you can actually pot up, and, you know, not pot like this, but, you know, a big pot, and actually take that inside and outside, you know, for your different climates. And there's a lot that do really well with that. So that's something that if you don't live in a climate that you can grow them outdoors, you can either put them into a greenhouse or put them into your house or garage or something, where it's not going to be frozen, and it will do well. So I'm going to take you guys on a little brief tour, and then we're going to be picking some fruit and tasting it for you guys to show you kind of what's going on with these fruits. Now this line for these ones right here has been turned off for a while. I had a leak, I haven't fixed it yet, so I just turned it off. And we did not have that much rain. We did get 0.36 of an inch yesterday and last night, so they did get some rain. And I do have deep litter on here guess you don't really call that with trees. I have wood chips on here, and so that has retained moisture from even our November rains, so which is pretty impressive. So let me show you guys what these are, and we'll go from there. First one up is the Mineola Tangelo, and that is, let's see, there we go. So this is a Mineola Tangelo. This was I think it was like $4 or $6 tree from Grocery Outlet, and it's great, and it is really good. I picked this one a little bit early, but I wanted to get it close to the camera. So this is Mineola Tangelo, and it is good. It always has a little bump here, and that's how you tell the Tangelos. So next up, I have to go through this forest of berries. You can see everything, all these guys are starting to bud and flower. And again, here's a Tangelo. There we go. And this one over here, this one was doing really well. And for some reason, the fruit is starting to not kind of ripen evenly. But this is a Wari Satsuma. And I don't know what's going on with this one. It's not doing well at all. And it hasn't for a few years. This one is a Valencia. So it's your typical orange. It's the most expensive of my oranges, but it did not do well, and the rootstock took over. So this is whatever rootstock and maybe some Valencia. So I decided, since it was putting out flowers, that I would let it fruit, and it looks like maybe it's not quite ripe. But we do have some here down near the ground that, yeah, I'll see if I can find a ripe one for our taste test. But it at least is doing well. I hope it's tasty. And then this is the Clementine, which it has a few, and that belongs to this one. That's why it's huge. Maybe it doesn't have any. Oh yeah, it does. So that's what those look like. And they're very small, and there's only a couple of them. Like 2 there, 3 there. Yeah, they're very small, but they're very sweet and yummy. So this right here, I'm super happy that it's actually doing something, because it hasn't in several years. This is a Caracara. And looks like they're not ripe yet either. But it's a Caracara, and that's something a little more rare to see in the grocery store and stuff. But we have a few fruits on that. For some reason, it's decided to be a bush. This is not me pruning. This is just it deciding how to grow. And then behind that, this is a Trevoya Orange. And it's a pretty typical orange. So, like, here's these. This is a pretty typical orange. And again, I'll find hopefully good examples of ripe ones, if there are any ripe ones, so we can taste it. And tons of flower buds. Look at that. Look at all these. All right. This one is a bear's lime. We've never had fruit off of it. It's always been small. I don't know why, and it's kind of frustrating because I really wanted lime. This right here is a Meyer Lemon that I put in. It needs to be cut back a lot, but I put this in. I don't know why I thought I needed another Meyer Lemon, but I did. So this is the only fruit tree that was in the yard when I bought the house, and it had a Home Depot tag on it, and it is said dwarf citrus. So I believe it used to be a Meyer Lemon, and the rootstock took over, because we have different kinds of lemons on here, and I'm not sure what the other one is, because we used to have a lot more sweeter ones. And they still sweet a little, but not nearly like they were. So, yeah. But you can see there's a difference between that one there and like these ones down here. These ones have a smooth skin, there's a thinner skin, and then those ones up there have a thicker skin and a bigger fruit. But anyway, so those, we have lemons. And I really need more recipes with lemons that don't involve a whole lot of sugar. So that is the citrus grove. All that. And then I have one more over by the pond. I'll show you. So here's the pond, and right there is our page mandarin. This was, again, like a $4 to $6 grocery outlet tree purchase. Hi, chickens. So this tree has had good fruit and not so good fruit. Sometimes it's more sour, sometimes it's more sweet. And that's true with all citrus that I've grown, is sometimes they have good years and bad years. So if you find that there's a bad year, you know, you just don't like the fruit and that's the first year you grew it, give it a few years, give it, you know, maybe 3 years so it can figure out what it wants to be. So these are smaller, but looks like they're a little bit hard right now, but we'll taste them. So those are the citrus in my yard, and so I'm able to grow a lot of them here, and a lot of them in quite a small space. So I hope this is helpful, and we're going to be tasting them, and we'll share with you what they taste like. Thanks. The next video coming out is going to be a citrus tasting. So I decided to do this in 2 parts because of the length of the tasting portion. I didn't want to have a huge long video, and I thought different people might enjoy the different parts. So I hope you enjoyed this tour and that you come back for the next video, which is going to be a tasting. Thank you for watching.